Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that could save you a ton of money if you're a homeowner in East Tennessee: property taxes. Knowing how these relief programs work is absolutely essential for your finances.
All right, so if you're looking to buy a home around Johnson City, Kingsport, or Bristol, you probably heard the term homestead exemption, right? It's a really common way to lower your property tax bill in a lot of other states.
But here's the absolute first thing you need to understand, especially if you're moving in from out of state. In Tennessee, a general one-size-fits-all homestead exemption, well, it just doesn't exist. It's a myth.
Yeah, see, a general exemption is usually like this automatic discount that most homeowners get just for living in their house. But Tennessee's system, it's way more specific and targeted.
So instead of that broad approach, the state has basically created a set of specialized tools. Think of it less like a blanket discount and more like 4 specific programs aimed at helping very specific groups of people.
Okay, so let's get right into it. What are these 4 programs, and more importantly, how do you know if you could actually qualify for one of them?
For pretty much everyone in the Tri-Cities area, it all boils down to these 4 categories. You've got relief for elderly homeowners, disabled homeowners, a special program for disabled veterans, and then something totally different for owners of greenbelt land. Each one is its own little world.
So, let's start with the ones for seniors and disabled homeowners. For so many people living on a fixed income, these options can be a real game changer when property taxes start to climb.
Now, if you're 65 or older, or if you meet the state's definition of totally and permanently disabled, you have a choice to make. You have 2 different paths you can take, but, and this is super important, you can't have both. You have to pick one.
Let's break this down, because it's a big decision. Tax relief is basically a rebate. The state gives you a credit, which means you get more money back right now. It's best if you need immediate financial help. On the other hand, the tax freeze is all about the long game. It locks in your tax amount at the current rate, so even if property values and taxes go up in your neighborhood, yours stays the same. Great for predictability. Just remember, both of them have income limits, and those numbers can change, so you always want to check with your local county trustee for the latest info.
Okay, next up is a completely separate program, and it is a huge benefit. This one is specifically designed to honor the service of our qualifying disabled veterans.
And really, to show its gratitude for their sacrifice, Tennessee has put together what is, without a doubt, the most generous property tax benefit available in the whole state.
This number right here is everything. $175,000. That's the key.
So what this means is that qualifying veterans get a tax exemption on the first $175,000 of their home's value. I mean, for a lot of homes in the Tri-Cities, an exemption that big can literally wipe out the entire property tax bill. And this incredible benefit also extends to surviving spouses, which is just critical for their financial security.
All right, let's switch gears to a program that's not for your typical suburban house. This one's for people who own larger pieces of land and are helping to preserve Tennessee's beautiful natural landscapes.
The Greenbelt Law is actually pretty brilliant. It lets your land be taxed based on how it's being used right now, like as a farm or a forest, instead of what a developer might pay for it. It's a huge incentive that makes it affordable for landowners to keep that land green instead of selling it off.
But, and you knew there was a but coming, right? This is not something you just jump into lightly. Signing up for the Greenbelt program is a serious commitment, and there can be some major financial penalties if you decide to back out later.
And here's what that means. If you change the use of that land, say you sell it to a developer who wants to build a subdivision, you're going to get hit with something called rollback taxes. Basically, you have to pay back the tax savings you got for the past 3 years. It can be a really big number, and it's designed to make sure people aren't just using the program as a temporary loophole.
Okay, so after all that, maybe you're thinking, hey, I think I qualify for one of these. That is awesome. So let's get practical and walk through the exact steps you need to take to actually get these benefits.
First thing to know, this is all handled locally at the county level, not by the state. So your game plan is simple. First, find the right office. It's either the trustee or the property assessor. Second, always call before you go. Third, get all your paperwork together. And fourth, make sure you apply before the deadline. Do those 4 things and you'll be golden.
And here's a quick look at the kind of documents you'll probably need.
You know, the usual suspects: ID, proof you own the property, proof of your income, and then any special letters you have from Social Security or the VA for disability or veteran status. Having this stuff ready ahead of time will make your life so much easier.
Look, if you only remember one thing from this entire explainer, please let it be this. Do not miss the deadline. They are incredibly strict. There are no extensions. If you miss that window in the spring, you have to pay your taxes in full and then wait a whole nother year to try again.
You know, when it comes right down to it, knowing about these programs is so much more than just saving a few bucks. It's about being a savvy manager of what is probably your biggest investment. It's about giving yourself financial peace of mind for this year and for all the years to come.